You don't get in life what you want. You get in life what you believe you deserve. I want you to imagine something for a moment. Picture yourself standing in front of a mirror, not the one that shows your face, but the one that shows your potential. This mirror doesn't reflect who you are right now. It reflects who you could become. And as you look at that reflection, the question isn't, is it possible? It's, I'm ready to act as if it's already mine. There was a time in my life when I wanted something so badly that it hurt. I didn't have the resources, the connections, or the confidence. But I had a vision, and I decided to treat that vision as if it were already a part of my reality. I woke up and walked, talked, and worked like the person I wanted to become had already arrived. And that simple shift, that decision to act as if, changed everything. You see, life will always test you before it blesses you. It will ask, are you truly ready for what you say you want? And your answer isn't in your words, it's in your actions, your attitude, your consistency when nobody's watching. Let me tell you a story. A young man once dreamed of becoming a world-class speaker. He didn't have a degree, didn't come from privilege, and people told him, you're not cut out for this. But every day, he practiced speaking into a cracked mirror in his small apartment. He imagined an audience clapping for him, even though the only sound in the room was his own echo. He acted as if he was already there, already living the dream. And years later, he stood on stages across the world, delivering messages that changed lives. That young man, that was me. Believe before you see. Let's take a deep breath together. Because this first step, believe before you see, is where every transformation begins. It's not a slogan. It's not a catchy phrase. It's a principle that separates those who merely wish from those who manifest. You see, most people live their lives the other way around. They say, I'll believe in myself when things start going right. I'll believe when the money comes in. I'll believe when people start recognizing me. But life doesn't work like that. Life doesn't reward the hesitant. It rewards the believer. You have to believe first, even when the evidence around you screams the opposite. When you act as if it's already yours, something powerful happens inside you. You begin to shift your internal state from lack to abundance, from doubt to faith, from uncertainty to assurance. And that shift, that's the birthplace of miracles, because your outer world is always a reflection of your inner world. What you carry in your mind and heart will eventually find its way into your reality. Think about every great person you admire, every innovator, creator, or achiever. None of them started with proof. They started with a vision that only they could see. Thomas Edison failed 1,000 times before he invented the light bulb. He didn't wait for someone to tell him it would work. He believed before he saw it. Oprah Winfrey was told she wasn't fit for television, yet she saw herself hosting shows that inspired millions. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper job for lacking imagination. These people didn't need approval, they had belief. When you believe before you see, you are declaring to life, I know who I am becoming, even if the world doesn't recognize it yet. You start acting from that future version of yourself, not waiting for validation, but walking in quiet confidence. That confidence becomes magnetic. It pulls the right energy, the right people, and the right circumstances toward you. Because the universe doesn't respond to what you say you want. It responds to who you are being. But let's be honest, believing before seeing is hard. It takes courage to look at your bank account and still say, I'm wealthy. It takes faith to look at rejection letters and say, I'm successful. It takes resilience to wake up day after day and work toward a dream that still feels invisible. Yet that's where greatness is born. In the invisible, in the unseen, in the soil of uncertainty. There was a time in my life when everything seemed to be falling apart. I didn't have the qualifications people said I needed. I didn't have the connections. But I had something no one could take from me. A belief that I was destined for more. I remember standing in an empty auditorium once, staring at 1,000 empty seats. I closed my eyes and imagined every seat filled with people whose lives were being changed by my words. I could hear their applause in my heart. That night, I wasn't performing for an audience. I was performing for my future. I was rehearsing for the moment that hadn't yet arrived. And years later, when I finally stood before thousands of people cheering, I realized something profound. I had already been there in my mind long before I got there in my body. That's the secret. You have to visit your future in advance. You have to feel the emotions of victory before the world gives you the medal. You have to celebrate the unseen progress, because belief is not pretending, it's preparing. When you believe before you see, you're saying, I'm preparing a place in my life for what I know is coming. And the truth is, your belief will be tested. There will be moments when fear whispers, who do you think you are? There will be days when progress feels invisible, when you'll question if it's worth it. In those moments, you must remember, every dream demands proof of belief before it rewards it. Your test is not to see if you can dream big. It's to see if you can stay faithful when the dream feels far away. Belief is not just mental, it's behavioral. If you believe you are destined for greatness, you'll stop settling for mediocrity. If you believe abundance is your birthright, you'll stop complaining and start creating. If you believe your dream is already yours, you'll carry yourself differently. You'll walk taller. You'll speak with conviction. You'll move with purpose. You might not see the result yet, but every time you act in alignment with your belief, you're watering the seed of your destiny. That seed doesn't grow overnight, but it is growing beneath the surface quietly, persistently. And one day, it breaks through the soil and people call it sudden success. But you'll know the truth. It wasn't sudden. It was years of believing before seeing. So if you're in that place right now, where your dream feels distant and your progress feels invisible, hold on. Don't give up. Keep believing. Because the moment you truly believe, something in the universe shifts, doors begin to open, energy begins to move. And before you know it, you'll be standing in the very place you once only imagined, realizing that it became yours the moment you decided to believe before you saw it. Preparation before possession, let me tell you something powerful. You don't get what you wish for, you get what you're prepared for. Every dream that's waiting for you is also waiting on you. The blessing you're asking for is already yours in potential, but it cannot come into your hands until your hands are ready to hold it. Preparation is not just about what you do. It's about who you become in the process. Because if the opportunity arrives and you're not ready, it will slip through your fingers like water. So many people say, when I get the job, I'll start showing up early. When I get my business, I'll start learning about leadership. When I'm successful, I'll start managing my money better. But that's not how success works. You have to prepare before you possess. You have to act now like the future you has already arrived. You have to practice before the door opens, so that when it does, you can walk through it with confidence instead of fear. I remember a story about a young man who dreamed of being a great pianist. Every day he prayed for an opportunity to perform on a big stage. But he didn't have a piano. All he had was an old, broken keyboard with a few missing keys. Yet every morning, he sat down and played as if he were in front of thousands. He practiced with passion, even though nobody was watching. Years later, a music producer happened to pass by and heard him play. That one moment changed his life, not because luck found him, but because preparation met opportunity. Preparation is proof that you're serious. It's your declaration to life that you're not just dreaming, you're ready. Every day you invest in your craft. Every hour you spend learning, every time you choose discipline over distraction, you are building the foundation that will hold your success. Because the truth is, success can crush an unprepared person. The very thing you pray for can become the thing that overwhelms you if your mindset, your habits, and your character aren't strong enough to carry it. When you act as if it's already yours, you begin to prepare differently. You stop waiting for the moment. You start becoming the moment. You dress like the professional you want to be. You speak like the leader you're becoming. You study, plan, and train like someone who knows their time is coming. That mindset changes everything. It transforms someday into any day now. Let me tell you from experience, doors don't open for people who are lucky. They open for people who are ready. When I first started speaking, I didn't have stages waiting for me, but I prepared anyway. I studied great speakers. I practiced my voice in the mirror. I recorded myself and listened to my tone, my energy, my pauses. I visualized the audience in front of me. I memorized lines that made my soul come alive. So when that first opportunity finally arrived, I didn't have to get ready. I was already ready. Preparation is not glamorous. It's lonely. It's the hours you spend in silence while the world sleeps. It's the sacrifices you make that no one claps for. But those quiet hours are where champions are made. Because when your moment comes, and it will, there won't be time to prepare. You'll either be ready or you won't. The stage will expose what you did in the shadows. You see, every struggle you go through right now is part of your preparation. The disappointment, the delays, the rejection, they're not punishment, they're training. Life is strengthening your patience, sharpening your focus, and building your resilience for the success you're meant to handle. Every no is shaping your maturity. Every obstacle is developing the muscle of persistence. So stop asking, why is it taking so long? And start asking, what is this season trying to teach me? Because there's always a purpose behind the process. You can't skip the preparation and expect the possession. Even a seed has to go underground before it can rise toward the light. That time in the dark isn't wasted. It's when the roots are growing. So if you feel like you're buried right now, understand this, you're not buried, you're being planted. Preparation builds confidence. It builds trust in yourself. When you've trained, practiced, and put in the work, you don't need to fake belief. You know you can handle what's coming. That's why the greats look calm under pressure. They're not lucky, they're prepared. The difference between average and extraordinary isn't talent, it's preparation. So I want you to start asking yourself today, am I preparing for the life I keep praying for? Am I studying for that promotion? Am I practicing for that opportunity? Am I conditioning myself for that dream? Don't wait for the stage to show up before you learn your lines. The time to prepare is now. When nobody's watching, when nobody's clapping, when it's just you and your vision. Because when the call comes, and it will come, it'll be too late to start getting ready. You'll have to rise to the level of your preparation. And if you've been doing the work, you won't need to fake confidence. You'll simply step into what's already yours. So prepare now. Prepare relentlessly. Prepare even when it doesn't make sense. Because when you prepare before you possess, the moment you've been waiting for won't catch you off guard. It'll find you ready, steady, and unstoppable. And when it does, you'll smile and whisper to yourself, I knew it. I was ready for this all along. Act bigger than your circumstances. There comes a point in every dreamer's journey when life seems to close in on you. The bills are due, the pressure is rising, and the results you expected still haven't shown up. The people around you start to whisper, maybe it's time to give up. But deep down, there's a quiet voice inside you that refuses to be silenced. The voice that says, keep going. You were made for more. That voice is your truth. And in those moments, when your circumstances seem small, you must choose to act bigger than your situation. Most people allow their environment to define them. They say, I can't think big because I live small. But here's what I've learned. Your circumstances don't shape your destiny. Your mindset does. You might be in a small place right now. But that doesn't mean you have to think small, talk small, or dream small. The size of your surroundings doesn't determine the size of your potential. You can be standing in a one-room apartment and still carry the mindset of a millionaire. You can be working a low-paying job and still walk with the confidence of a leader. The greatness in you isn't measured by your situation. It's measured by your spirit. I remember when I was just starting out, struggling to find opportunities. There were days I could barely afford to get to speaking events. But I refused to let my lack dictate my identity. I walked into every room with the posture of a man who belonged there. I spoke as if I had already earned my place, because when you act bigger than your circumstances, you begin to attract people and possibilities that match your belief, not your condition. There's a story I love about a young man who dreamed of being an architect. He couldn't afford to go to college, so he began studying blueprints in his spare time. He would visit construction sites, take notes, and sketch his own designs. People laughed at him because he didn't have a degree, but he carried himself like a professional. He dressed like one. He spoke like one. He thought like one. Years later, that same man became one of the most respected designers in his city. Not because he waited for permission, but because he dared to act bigger than his circumstances. That's what separates the dreamers who make it from the ones who don't. The ones who make it refuse to let their surroundings decide who they are. They use what they have, where they are, and they refuse to be defined by limitation. Because the truth is, there will never be a perfect time. There will never be perfect conditions, but you can be perfect in your intention, perfect in your effort, perfect in your resilience. When you start acting bigger than your situation, your energy changes. You walk differently. You speak with a certain authority that says, I know where I'm going. People may not understand it. They might even call it arrogance. But it's not arrogance, it's awareness. You're aware of what's inside you. You're aware of your potential. You're aware that this moment, no matter how difficult, is not your destination. It's your preparation. And yes, life will try to humble you. There will be times when everything you touch seems to crumble. But that's when your power is tested. Because acting bigger than your circumstances doesn't mean pretending everything is perfect. It means refusing to let what's imperfect stop you. It means showing up even when it's hard. It means believing in your worth even when you've been overlooked. It means standing tall even when your knees are shaking. You have to learn to see beyond what is and focus on what can be. That's how visionaries think. When Steve Jobs was designing the first Macintosh, he was working out of a garage. When J.K. Rowling was writing the first Harry Potter book, she was living on welfare. When Colonel Sanders started Kentucky Fried Chicken, he was rejected over 1,000 times. None of them had favorable circumstances, but they had the courage to act as if success was inevitable, not optional. Every time you act bigger than your situation, you tell life, I refuse to be limited by what I see. You're sending a signal to your future that says, I'm ready to meet you halfway. Because circumstances are temporary, but character, belief, and determination are eternal. The walls around you might be small right now, but your vision can be limitless. If you wait for everything to be perfect before you take action, you'll be waiting forever. Start where you are, use what you have, and trust that more will come as you move. Because motion creates momentum, and momentum attracts miracles. The person who dares to act big in a small place eventually finds themselves standing in big places because their mindset prepared them long before their environment caught up. So whatever your circumstances are right now, don't shrink to fit them. Expand your energy. Speak your vision out loud. Dress for your destiny, not your difficulty. Walk into every room like the future you belongs there. Because one day, when the world finally catches up to who you've always known you were, you'll look back and realize that the secret wasn't in waiting. It was in acting bigger than your circumstances. And that's how destiny recognizes you, not by what you have, but by how you carry yourself when you have nothing. Consistency, when it's hard, there's a moment in every dream where the excitement fades, the applause quiets, and the real work begins. That's when most people quit. Not because they don't have talent, not because they don't have potential, but because consistency feels heavier than motivation. It's easy to start when everything is new, when the fire is burning bright. But what separates the extraordinary from the ordinary is not how they start. It's how they continue when things get hard. Consistency is the bridge between intention and manifestation. You can dream all day, you can write down goals, you can visualize success. But if you're not willing to show up every single day, even when it hurts, your dream will remain just that, a dream. You see, greatness isn't built in moments of inspiration. It's built in moments of discipline. The gym of success is open every day, and the price of entry is consistency. Let me tell you something I've learned over the years. There's no progress without pressure. And the moment you commit to something meaningful, life will test that commitment. It will ask, how bad do you really want this? It'll throw distractions your way, delays that make you doubt, failures that sting. And every time, you'll have a choice, to stay consistent or to retreat. The truth is, the days when you least feel like doing it are the days that count the most. Because on those days, you're not just building your dream, you're building your strength. I remember when I was building my speaking career, there were times when I'd travel miles to deliver a talk, and only 5 people would show up. I'd give it everything I had anyway, because my commitment wasn't to the crowd, it was to my craft. Those 5 people deserved my best. And what I didn't realize then was that every small room was preparing me for the big ones. Every quiet stage was training my voice, my energy, my resilience. That's what consistency does. It transforms preparation into purpose. See, most people think consistency is about effort, but it's really about identity. It's saying, this is who I am, no matter the circumstance. The writer writes, even when inspiration is gone. The athlete trains, even when no one's watching. The dreamer builds, even when no one believes. Because consistency is not about feelings. It's about faithfulness. It's about staying true to your purpose, even when progress feels invisible. There will be seasons where your results don't match your effort. You'll pour your heart out and it'll feel like nothing is moving. But that's not failure. That's foundation. The roots of your success are growing in silence. You may not see the fruit yet, but if you keep watering, keep showing up, keep putting in the work, one day the harvest will come. And when it does, people will call you lucky. They'll say, it happened overnight. But you'll know better. It didn't happen overnight. It happened over years of relentless consistency. The truth is, consistency requires sacrifice. It means saying no to comfort, no to distractions, no to excuses. It means doing what you said you'd do long after the mood in which you said it has left you. It means waking up early, staying up late, and giving your best even when no one's clapping. It's not glamorous, it's gritty. But that's where real character is formed. Let me remind you, the grind doesn't last forever. The pain, the sacrifice, the long hours, they all serve a purpose. They're molding you into someone who can handle the success that's coming. Because success is heavy. If you can't stay consistent when it's hard, you won't sustain it when it's easy. That's why life doesn't hand out rewards to the impatient. It hands them to the persistent. Think of the bamboo tree. For years after it's planted, nothing seems to happen. You water it daily, nurture it, care for it, but there's no visible growth. Then suddenly, in the 5th year, it shoots up over 80 feet tall in just a few weeks. But the truth is, it wasn't growing overnight. It was growing underground, building the roots strong enough to support its height. That's what consistency does for you. It builds unseen strength, silent endurance, unshakable belief. So if you're in that phase right now, where nothing seems to be working, don't stop. Keep going. Every repetition matters. Every late night, every early morning, every small step counts. Your consistency is compounding even when you can't see it. You're planting seeds in faith, and in time, the harvest will come. Anyone can be motivated for a day. Few can be consistent for a lifetime. The difference between good and great isn't intensity. It's endurance. The greatest among us aren't the ones who burn, the brightest for a moment, but the ones who refuse to burn out. They keep showing up. They keep believing, they keep building. Because at the end of the day, consistency is love in motion. Love for your dream, love for your growth, love for the future you're becoming. And if you can stay consistent when it's hard, when it's lonely, when it's uncertain, nothing, and I mean nothing, will be able to stop you. Turning rejection into redirection, there's a kind of pain that every dreamer eventually meets. The sting of rejection. It's the closed door after all your effort. It's the silence after you've poured your heart into something. It's the word no echoing through your mind when you were praying for a yes. But here's what I've learned, my friend. Rejection is not the end of your story. It's simply redirection in disguise. The doors that close on you are not punishment, they're protection. The opportunities that slip away aren't signs of failure. They're proof that something better is being aligned for you. When we face rejection, it's natural to question ourselves. Am I not good enough? Am I doing something wrong? Maybe I'm not meant for this. But that's the trap of rejection. It makes you believe the no defines your worth. It doesn't. A no doesn't mean you're unqualified. It means that moment wasn't meant for you. And if you can hold on to your faith in the face of rejection, you'll discover that every closed door has a purpose to push you closer to the one that's truly yours. I remember years ago, I auditioned for a radio show that I believed would change my life. I practiced for days. I prepared every line, every word. But when the results came, they told me, "You're not what we're looking for." It hurt deeply. I felt defeated, embarrassed, and lost. But what I didn't know then was that the no I received that day wasn't the end. It was the beginning. Because that rejection forced me to find my own voice, my own path. It made me create something even greater. Something that didn't require permission from anyone. That single rejection redirected me to the stage, to the purpose I was truly meant to fulfill. Sometimes rejection is life's way of saying, you're thinking too small. You wanted a door, but life wants to give you a building. You were aiming for a job, but life wants to give you a career. You were asking for approval, but life wants to make you undeniable. Rejection doesn't mean stop. It means step up. It means grow stronger, get clearer, and rise higher. Because behind every no is an invitation to evolve. Think about the people we celebrate today. J.K. Rowling was rejected by 12 publishers before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon. Walt Disney was told he lacked creativity. Oprah Winfrey was fired from her first television job. The Beatles were told that guitar music was on the way out. Imagine if they had stopped there. Imagine if they had believed the world's verdict. But they didn't. They turned rejection into redirection, and that redirection became their resurrection. Rejection, if you let it, can refine you. It can build endurance. It can strengthen your sense of purpose. Sometimes you need a no to remind you that you were meant to create your own yes. Every disappointment carries a hidden blessing, but you can only see it once you stop staring at the closed door. Because while you're mourning what didn't work out, life is busy preparing something that will. When life closes a door, don't stand there knocking until your knuckles bleed. Step back. Look around. There's usually a window open somewhere else, but you can't see it if you're consumed by what you lost. Rejection forces you to shift your vision, to look for new possibilities, to try new paths, to become more creative. Some of the greatest breakthroughs in history came from people who were rejected but refused to stop. They redirected their pain into power. The truth is, rejection tests the strength of your belief. Anyone can have faith when everything is working, but real faith is proven when things fall apart and you still refuse to give up. It's when you can say, even though I was turned away, I'm still moving forward. Because what's meant for you will never miss you, and what misses you was never meant for you. I want you to remember this. Every no you receive is not a wall. It's a compass. It's pointing you somewhere new. It's guiding you towards something that aligns with your true calling. Don't take rejection personally. Take it purposefully. Ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me? Where is this trying to lead me? Because sometimes the door you wanted to walk through would have led to less than you deserve. Sometimes rejection is simply redirection to something that fits your gift more perfectly than you could imagine. And one day you'll look back and say, I'm so grateful they didn't pick me. I'm so grateful that didn't work out. Because you'll realize, if you had received what you thought you wanted, you would have missed what you truly needed. So don't run from rejection. Embrace it. Learn from it, use it. Let it build your resilience, sharpen your focus, and deepen your gratitude. Let it remind you that your worth was never tied to someone else's opinion. And every time you hear the word no, let it ignite something inside you that says, watch me. Because rejection isn't the end of your journey. It's the redirection that leads you home to the purpose you were born for. The power of persistence. Staying in the fight. There will come a time in your journey when everything seems to stop moving. When progress feels invisible, when effort feels wasted, when you wonder if all your sacrifices are even worth it. That's where persistence is tested. Persistence is not about speed, it's about consistency. It's not about how loud you start, but how long you last. Because the truth is, the people who make it in life aren't always the most talented, the most educated, or the most connected. They're the ones who refuse to quit. Persistence is the bridge between dreams and results. It's what carries you when the excitement fades and the road gets rough. You see, everyone feels motivated at the beginning. Everyone believes when the vision is fresh and full of energy. But persistence, that quiet, unglamorous strength, is what separates those who wish from those who win. It's the discipline to keep walking when your feet hurt, to keep building when no one's watching, to keep believing when there's no visible proof that anything is working. Life will test your persistence. It will throw storms your way to see if you truly mean what you say. You'll face setbacks that make you question everything. But those moments are not there to stop you. They're there to strengthen you. Every challenge you face is a question from life itself. Do you still want it? And your answer must be your effort. Many people give up not because they don't have what it takes, but because they give up too soon. They stop digging when they're inches away from the gold. They turn back at the edge of their breakthrough. But persistence means staying when others walk away, holding faith when others lose sight, and pushing forward even when it feels like you've been forgotten. Les Brown once said, "If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, your life will be easy." Persistence is doing what's hard when your emotions tell you to rest. It's waking up with purpose even after 100 failures. It's rewriting your goals, reigniting your fire, and reminding yourself that you're still in the fight. Because the truth is, victory doesn't come to those who want it. It comes to those who work for it, wait for it, and refuse to walk away. Think about water hitting a rock. One drop doesn't break it, but 1,000 over time will carve through solid stone. That's persistence, quiet, patient, and powerful. It's not about massive action once, it's about consistent action over time. Every little effort compounds. Every small win counts. Every unseen hour builds momentum that will one day be undeniable. Sometimes persistence doesn't look like progress. It looks like repetition. It looks like showing up again and again, doing the same thing while wondering if it's making any difference. But the truth is, persistence is working silently beneath the surface, preparing your breakthrough. Seeds don't sprout the moment you plant them. They need darkness, time, and care before they break through the soil. Your dream works the same way. The world might not see your growth, but that doesn't mean it isn't happening. Persistence requires patience. It demands faith, and most importantly, it demands that you silence the voice of doubt that says, maybe this isn't meant for me. You must learn to answer that voice with action. Every time doubt whispers, work anyway. Every time fear rises, step anyway. Every time you feel tired, believe anyway. Because persistence is not about how you feel. It's about what you decide. No great story has ever been written without struggle. The most powerful victories are born from perseverance through pain. When you feel like giving up, remember why you started. Remember the people depending on you. Remember the fire that pushed you to begin. Don't let temporary exhaustion make you forget permanent purpose. Life rewards those who stay. You might not see it today or tomorrow, but every ounce of effort adds up. The climb may be steep, but the view is worth it. And when you finally reach the top, you'll realize it wasn't just the goal that changed your life. It was the persistence you built along the way. It was the strength you developed from not quitting. So keep fighting, keep showing up, keep believing. Even if progress is invisible, it's happening. Even if no one applauds, keep going. Even if the world says no, keep saying yes to yourself. Because persistence is not about proving them wrong. It's about proving to yourself that you are capable, that you are resilient, that you are unstoppable. Remember, every great victory has a quiet beginning. A moment when someone chose to keep going despite everything. That someone can be you. Stay in the fight. Keep your heart steady. Keep your focus sharp. Your persistence will make the impossible possible. And one day, when you stand in the light of your success, you'll look back at every dark day, every lonely night, every quiet effort, and you'll smile because you'll know it was worth it. You didn't just reach the goal. You became stronger, wiser, and unbreakable along the way. Mastering the waiting season, trust the process. There is a season between believing and receiving. A silent, uncertain, and often uncomfortable space called waiting. It's the stretch of time when you've done all you can, yet the results haven't shown up. It's when your faith is tested, your patience is stretched, and your mind is tempted to quit. But this waiting season, as painful as it feels, is not a punishment. It's preparation. It's where the unseen work happens, where your roots grow deeper before your branches can reach higher. Every great dream demands a period of waiting. You cannot rush the process of growth. A seed planted today does not become a tree tomorrow. It must endure the unseen phase beneath the soil. That soil may look dark. It may feel lonely, but that's where life begins. The same is true for you. The waiting season is where character is built, resilience is shaped, and clarity is formed. You're not being delayed, you're being developed. So many people give up during this season because they mistake silence for absence. They think that because they can't see progress, nothing is happening. But the truth is, the process is always working. Growth doesn't make noise. Transformation doesn't announce itself. While you wait, something powerful is forming inside you. Discipline, patience, humility, and strength. These are the invisible tools you'll need to carry the visible blessings ahead. Waiting doesn't mean sitting still or doing nothing. It means trusting the timing while still moving forward in faith. It means staying focused even when there's no applause. It means waking up each day with quiet confidence that what you're working for is on its way, even if it hasn't arrived yet. You have to remind yourself, just because it's not visible doesn't mean it's not viable. Think of an artist working on a masterpiece. The early sketches don't look like much. The colors may seem messy, the strokes uncertain, but the artist knows what the finished work will be. In the same way, your life might look incomplete right now. It might feel like you're in the middle of a canvas full of uncertainty. But you are not finished. You are still being painted. The beauty is coming. You just have to let the process unfold. During the waiting season, comparison is your biggest enemy. When you see others achieving what you're still hoping for, it's easy to feel forgotten. But remember this, what's meant for you cannot pass you by. Everyone's timing is different because everyone's purpose is different. You don't plant all seeds at the same time and expect them to bloom together. Some take longer, not because they're weaker, but because their roots need more time to grow strong enough to carry what's coming. So while you wait, don't waste the waiting. Use it, learn, reflect, refine your vision, strengthen your skills, work on your mindset. Because if you rush to get what you're not ready to handle, you'll lose it. Preparation is not punishment, it's protection. It ensures that when your moment comes, you can sustain it. There will be moments when you question everything, moments when your faith wavers and your hope feels thin. That's normal. Growth often hides behind discomfort. Waiting doesn't feel good because it It requires surrender, surrendering control, surrendering timelines, surrendering expectations. But that surrender doesn't mean giving up. It means giving in to the process that's shaping you into the person who can handle your dream. Every great story has a waiting chapter, a moment between the vision and the victory. Think of every champion, every achiever, every leader you admire. None of them reached success overnight. They waited, they struggled, they endured seasons of doubt and silence. But they didn't give up. They learned to master the waiting season by turning it into a classroom. Every delay became a lesson. Every silence became a signal to go deeper within. When it feels like nothing's moving, remember your roots are growing. When it feels like doors are closed, remember you're being redirected, not rejected. When it feels like your dream is far away, remember distance doesn't mean denial. The process is always on your side. It's building you quietly so you can rise powerfully. So, stand tall in your waiting season. Keep showing up. Keep doing the work. Keep believing even when there's no sign. You don't have to see the whole staircase to keep climbing. You just need to trust that every step counts. The waiting season is not the end. It's the in between where strength is born and faith matures. One day, when everything you've prayed for, worked for, and dreamed of arrives, you'll look back at this season with gratitude. You'll understand why it took time. You'll see that the waiting wasn't wasted. It was necessary. It shaped your spirit, sharpened your vision, and gave you the depth to hold your blessing when it came. So, while you wait, hold on. Trust the unseen. The process is working, and so are you. What's meant for you is not lost, it's just getting ready for your arrival. Stay patient, stay faithful, and remember, every delay is preparing your destiny. Claim what's already yours. Everything you've dreamed of is already waiting for you. Not in some distant future, but within you right now. The power to become, to rise, to achieve has always been there. Acting as if it's already yours isn't pretending, it's preparing. It's aligning your actions, thoughts, and energy with the life you know you're meant to live. You've faced doubt, fear, and waiting, but you're still standing. You've learned to persist, to trust the process, and to believe even when there's no evidence. That's what champions do. That's what winners are made of. So from this moment on, walk with confidence. Speak with conviction. Move as if the door is already open, as if the dream is already yours. Because once you believe it deep enough, the world will begin to reflect it. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for signs. The time is now. The power is within you. Act as if it's already yours, because it is.